Welcome into the Bengals Breakdown. I'm Ivey Alonzo, and we're going to get right into it, starting off with, of course, more Jonah Williams trade talks. But apparently, it's not going to happen. And we've been teetering back and forth on whether it would go through, whether that request would be answered, or whether he would be on the Bengals roster in 2023. And according to Albert Breer, it's not going to happen. Jonah Williams will still be a Bengal. We'll break that down in just a moment. But before we do, I have to remind you guys, hit the sub button. Do yourself a favor. If you want to know everything going on all around the Bengals, news, rumors, trade talks, we'll have it here for you on the channel. But you got to hit the sub button so you don't miss anything. We had you covered during the draft, and we're going to be here during the offseason all the way into the season. Do yourself the favor, hit the sub button. Albert Breer said this about Jonah Williams and whether the trade was actually going to happen. He said, if they weren't going to do it before the draft, my feeling is they won't do it at all. To me, there are teams like, say, New England that could really use him. But unless you're talking about giving Cincinnati a second-round pick for Williams, it doesn't make sense for the Bengals to move him because he plays well for them. And if he plays well for them in the fall, they'll get that year of service from him at a trouble spot and insurance on La'el Collins working his way back from a torn ACL and potentially a third or fourth round comp pick in 2025. So, right, this doesn't really work in favor of the Bengals considering, what's going to happen with La'el Collins and what are they going to get out of it. A trade would have to be very enticing for the Bengals to follow through with this, I believe. How does Williams feel about it? Because we knew he wasn't very happy when they signed Orlando Brown, which is exactly why he requested the trade in the first place, because he's being shifted to the other side of the line during a contract year. He's not too keen on it, right? We heard that there was a little bit of tension between the Bengals and Jonah Williams, but things have seemed to resolve a little bit per Albert Breer. He says, for what it's worth, I do think Williams is in a little better place with the team now than he was a month ago, and I think the Bengals will get a good year out of him, assuming no one comes in and throws big capital at Cincinnati, which could happen if there's an injury with another team to get him. So they've kind of accepted where they are, and I think Williams has come to terms with the fact that he's probably not going anywhere. Maybe he has a better year avoiding injury in 2023. He's able to kind of prove himself and has a great career somewhere else in 2024. Again, this is the last year of his current contract. He's looking to either extend or find a contract elsewhere. And the only reason he would really get traded is if a team really needed him because of an injury and they threw a lot of draft capital at Cincinnati. But do you think Jonah Williams will get traded? Again, this is just what we're hearing. This didn't come out of the Bengals front office saying, no, we're not trading Jonah Williams. This is just kind of speculation in the way things are looking. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. But do you think they'll end up trading him? Type Y for yes, type N for no. He's not going anywhere. Talking about somebody else who might not be on the Bengals roster in 2023, Eli Apple. Remember, he signed a one-year deal with the Bengals last season, and it doesn't look like he'll be coming back to Cincinnati just solely based on the draft class that the Bengals brought in. They acknowledged the cornerback room twice, grabbed a safety as well. So this is currently what that depth chart looks like. You've got Chidobe Awuzie, Cam Taylor-Britt, and Mike Hilton, and you grab DJ Turner and DJ Ivey in the draft. Now, Chidobe Awuzie, coming off of that ACL injury, should be ready to go for the season opener, but I don't think depth is a concern considering you did grab two corners literally in the draft on day 2 and day 3. Pretty good corners, especially DJ Turner. Also DJ Ivey, a little bit of a sleeper out of Miami. So Eli Apple, I don't know, man. I don't know that you end up in Cincinnati or that they bring you back this year. And 2022 didn't have his best year. He had some really good games, but he also had some really bad games. He had 49 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 8 pass breakups, no interceptions. He did have a big play against the Chiefs in that AFC game, but I don't know that it was enough to bring him back. I think they've moved on to not bigger because DJ Turner has some concerns about length and physicality, but bigger and better, to say the least. I don't know that Eli Apple ends up back in Cincinnati this season. I think he will find another team to play for. Where will Eli Apple play in 2023? Now, if you're a Bengals fan and he does go somewhere else, you're hoping that he's not roasting the Bengals on Twitter the way he does his former teams, because let me tell you something about his Twitter fingers. He goes off on that app and just makes a lot of enemies, I will say. I know people either love him or hate him, but it looks like you guys will have to come to terms with the fact that Eli Apple is probably not a Bengal anymore, and he might be throwing shade at Cincinnati per his the way he works on Twitter with his former teams. And we will round out the show with a little bit of another injury update. Like I said earlier, Chidobe Awuzie coming off that ACL injury, looking good. Should be able to go for the season opener. Another guy we're looking to have back for the regular season is Joseph Ossai. He should be ready to go after preseason for game 1. Kelsey Conway has an update after talking to him. He said he hyperextended his knee against the Chiefs and tore his labrum against the Browns in December. Gosh, 2 really bad injuries. Had off-season surgery on it in early February and will likely miss the off-season program due to rehab. Now, I know he did also say he hyperextended that knee, but because he tore his labrum and had to have surgery, that rest time has actually helped his knee recover even more than it was supposed to. So I'm not saying 2 big injuries are a good thing, but the way that they paired together and him having surgery has allowed him to take that extra time to rest. And he should be able to play during the regular season, hopefully for game 1, a big part of that defensive line. It would be really nice to have Ossai back for the 2023 season. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but this is actually my last show here on the Bengals Breakdown by Chat Sports. I hate to leave, but it's time for me to go. I will no longer be here at Chat Sports, but I do want to thank y'all for helping me grow the channel, for taking it off, for the support and encouragement that you guys have given me throughout the draft specifically. You guys kind of kept me going, kept pushing me, and thanked me for all of the hard work that I was doing. Now, just because I'm leaving Chat Sports doesn't mean you can't get a hold of me. If you need me, you know where to find me. I'm on Instagram at Abigail Alonzo and on Twitter at Abigail_Alonzo. Again, I appreciate y'all so very much. We'll see y'all soon.